Well, we're in the middle of the drought of 2012, and today's July 2nd. It's 10:30 a.m. and it's 94 degrees. It has been 100 or higher for the last 4 days, and it's supposed to be again today. So anyway, here's the backyard, which actually looks pretty good with a little bit of water and Bermuda grass. And the new landscaping plants I've done, the rock is going to go in hopefully sometime this summer, but you can see the plants and they're actually doing okay, but again, those take a lot of water too. And the rain barrel, which still has a little bit of water in it. But the plants are struggling. They wilt at the end of each day and have to water them again. And we'll fill this in with some kind of rock or mulch at some point. Go out to the garden and see how it's doing. Water the garden almost every day, probably at least 2 out of 3 days. It's doing okay. Potatoes, the plants are starting to wilt finally, which might mean they're about ready to pick, or they're just really hot. Corn is doing okay, but not great. Beans seem to be doing well, though we don't have any yet. Pepper plants are doing very well. Tomatoes are doing okay. We haven't gotten any big ones yet, but the cherry tomato plants are doing pretty well. Getting a little dried out, need to be watered. Here's a few carrots that came up, and then zucchini. There's a big one right there, it's ready. That one looks like it's wilting, but it was just watered. Cucumber plants, which are just kind of hanging on. Those are habanero pepper plants right there, which we don't have any yet. I don't even think they've bloomed. And then a few more cherry tomato plants. So there's the garden, and it's actually doing pretty well considering the conditions of no rain for the last month, really. This backyard looks pretty good. We'll go out here to the side for a minute. Side yard's hanging on. Here's some more of the plants. Those are struggling, even though they get watered almost every day or 2 out of every 3 days. They're hanging in there. Here's the front yard. Landscape plants are actually doing pretty well. I've only watered them 1 time, but they seem to be in pretty good shape. Here's the neighbor's yard. And you can see parts of it are a little brown, but it's actually getting better even though it's getting drier just because I've been watering. These bushes right here are wilting. I even tried watering them and they didn't seem to respond any. The leaves are curling up and turning brown and like it's late October. Here's some boxwood plants that I planted, and this rock will be replaced hopefully this summer. And here's 4 holly plants. So that pretty much completes the tour for now of the yard in the drought of 2012.